So how many of you at some point in your lifetime heard the following saying? Only load 28 rounds in a 30-round magazine. Now, of course, this saying is in reference to the AR-15 30-round magazines. But that little quote has been circulated around the firearms community for years. And whether you hear it at a firearms training event or at the local gun store or a family member, friend, what have you, there are some of us right now thinking, yeah, I've heard that before. And honestly, I used to buy into that myself. That's until I got a little bit smart. You really have to be careful when you're listening to advice from somebody to really vet that advice. So this piece of information, loading only 28 rounds into a 30-round magazine, that may have been good advice back in the 80s and 90s, and even before then. It may have been. And it goes back even farther, back in the days when there were just the 20-round magazines were the standard issue for the AR-15, and only loading 18 rounds versus a full 20 in those magazines. That was then, this is now. You have to realize that things change, things improve, quality changes, and things evolve. So there is basically no reason, in a nutshell, I'll kind of get right to the point here, there is no reason at all with the modern day magazines that you only have to load 28 rounds in a 30-round magazine. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So hopefully I can do this without knocking the camera over. So this right here, 30-round magazine, and I'll depress so that way I can show you. It's loaded to 30. When you load an AR-15 magazine to 30, just so you know, there's going to be that much movement. If you have no movement, then you've possibly put 31 rounds in the magazine, and that's wrong. So that's this magazine. Here's another one, same thing. That's loaded to 30. And that's loaded to 30 as well. So this AR-15 bolt is closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this, and just with one finger, it's in. Only one finger pressure and the magazine has been inserted. Same with that magazine, you see? It's in there. And I'll do it with this magazine as well. There you go. One finger of pressure. This is a Springfield Armory Saint. It's not a high-grade AR-15. It's just a standard AR-15, and these are standard aluminum magazines. They do have the anti-tilt followers. That's what I have on all my magazines at the very least. I don't like the old school green style followers. So if you have a really old AR-15 magazine, this might be something to follow. But with all the new stuff, Magpul, Lancer, all these brand new so-called mil-spec aluminum magazines with the anti-tilt followers, all the stuff that's on the market that's really good quality, don't downgrade your magazine. There's no reason for it. It's old advice, and some people might say, well, that old advice was, learned with blood. Got it, I understand. But things have changed. Things have evolved. It's just like, it's no different than back in the 90s when law enforcement was touting the 40 caliber as just the best law enforcement round to have, and now we're going back to the 9mm. Why is that? Because the 9mm evolved. Bullet design evolved, technology evolved. Now we're going back to the 9mm. We get a couple more rounds per magazine, less recoil, all that good stuff. It just makes more sense. So things change. Don't get so caught up on the mantra of some firearms instructors. And I've heard this particular one, loading 28 rounds on a 30-round magazine, I've heard that from some of the firearms instructors that I really respect. And it's nothing against them. There's a few things they're just not going with the times on, and that's okay. It is what it is. So just, look at things, use common sense. If your magazines are working just fine, load them all the way up. Doesn't matter if it's a rifle, if it's a handgun, whatever. Don't blindly follow what's being thrown at you either online or at some fancy carbine class or whatnot without personally vetting it first for yourself. All right. Thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to put your comments in the description bar, whether you agree with me or whether you think I'm full of crap, all that good stuff. All right. Thanks for watching.